Hello students, welcome to this video lecture on measuring social impact. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss how to measure social impact. In traditional business, they measure profit. In social entrepreneurship, in social enterprise, they measure the social impact they have created. So, let us start. Measuring social impact means assessing how effectively a social enterprise or initiative is achieving its intended positive change in society, environment, or human well-being. It goes beyond tracking outputs, what was done, to evaluate outcomes, what changed, and impact, the long-term impact. So why we should measure the impact? Accountability. We need to be accountable. It shows funders, investors, and stakeholders how resources are utilized. Decision making. It helps us and guides us in strategy, operations, and program design. Credibility. It demonstrates legitimacy and transparency to external audiences. Fundraising. It attracts impact-focused investors and donors. Mission alignment. It keeps the organization focused on its core social goal. So, what are the steps to measure impact? First step is we need to define the social problem. What are you trying to solve? Example, low school attendance or poor sanitation or water conservation, something. We need to set clear objectives. So, the problem is defined. Now, what are the specific changes do you want to achieve? And develop indicators. What will you measure? Example, a percentage of increase in school attendance, number of toilets built. Then we have to collect data, quantitative. We need to conduct surveys and you have to collect data. Qualitative, we have to conduct interviews and we have to case studies. Based on this, we have to arrive at a data. Okay. Steps to measure impact. Analyze results, compare results to baseline data or control groups, assess attribution. How much of the change was due to your intervention versus external factors? Review and adapt. Use findings to improve and scale the model. So, what are the common tools and frameworks to measure this? Theory of change. It maps out the pathway from activities to long-term impact. Then, social return on investment. Calculates the value of social good generated per dollar invested. IRIS metrics. Standardized indicators by the Global Impact Investing Network. B Impact Assessment, used by B Corps to measure performance in governance, workers, community, and environment. Then we need to communicate the impact to the society. Once impact is measured, it needs to be effectively communicated to key stakeholders, that is investors, beneficiaries, donors, policymakers, and also the public. Why we should communicate the impact? Because we need to inspire or instill trust and we have to gain support from them. And we have to attract new funding and partnerships and to influence policy and scale and also to motivate teams and reinforce purpose. So, key principles for effective communication. Clarity. Our communication should be very clear. It should avoid jargon. It should present key impact metrics simply. Storytelling. We can use human stories to illustrate data. Numbers alone don't move people, but stories do. Visuals. We can make use of graphs, infographics, dashboards, and videos to enhance the engagement. Relevance. Tailor the message to the audience, that is whether it is donor or investor or government or public. Consistency. Report regularly, quarterly or annually, even if results are mixed. Impact reporting formats. We can communicate them through annual impact reports, through donor reports, through investor dashboards, infographics and social media posts, presentations to stakeholders, or third-party certification like B Corp or Fairtrade. Through these methods, we can report the impact. So, communicating impact. A social enterprise providing clean cook stoves could report quantitatively how they can report 20,000 stoves distributed, 80,000 lives impacted, 15,000 tons of CO2 emissions reduced. This is quantitative. Qualitative. A mother in rural jargon shares how she now spends half the time cooking and has fewer respiratory issues. So, visuals, before and after photos, usage graphs, maps of region covered. So, all these can be used to communicate the impact the project has created. So, measuring and communicating social impact is a critical component of social entrepreneurship. It allows an organization to assess how effectively it is achieving its mission and creating positive change. Impact measurement goes beyond tracking outputs, such as the number of products distributed or services delivered. It focuses on outcomes and long term effects on individuals, communities, and the environment. To do this effectively, social entrepreneurs must define the social problem they aim to address, set clear and measurable goals, and identify indicators that reflect real change. These indicators could be quantitative, like increased school attendance or reduced emissions, or qualitative, such as improved quality of life or empowerment levels. Data analysis. Data collection and analysis follow, often using frameworks like theory of change, social return on investment, or iris metrics. These help evaluate both the scale and depth of impact, as well as how much of that impact can be directly attributed to the venture's efforts. This evidence not only validates the enterprise's work but also provides valuable insights for strategy improvement, innovation, and accountability. Impact measurement. Once the impact has been measured, it's essential to communicate it clearly and effectively to stakeholders. This includes investors, donors, beneficiaries, and the general public. Impact communication should be transparent, relatable, and audience specific. Combining data with human stories, visuals, and case studies can help bring numbers to life and inspire deeper engagement. Whether through formal reports, infographics, or social media updates, consistent and compelling communication strengthens trust, attracts new funding, and mobilizes support. Ultimately, measuring and communicating social impact ensures that the enterprise stays true to its mission and contributes meaningfully to systemic long term change. Challenge. So, what is the challenge we face while measuring the impact and communicating the impact? A significant challenge in the field of social entrepreneurship and impact investing is the lack of maturity in social program evaluation. Unlike traditional business sectors where financial metrics are well established and universally understood, social enterprises often operate in complex environments where outcomes are harder to quantify and measure. There is often no standardized or universally accepted method to evaluate the success of social programs, especially when dealing with intangible benefits like empowerment, behavioral change, or community resilience. This lack of consensus makes it difficult to compare results across organizations or sectors and often leads to fragmented reporting practices. Reliable data. Another issue is the high cost and complexity of collecting reliable impact data. Social enterprises, especially smaller ones, often lack the financial and human resources to conduct in depth longitudinal studies or implement sophisticated data tracking systems. So, gathering meaningful data in low resource settings or among marginalized and dispersed populations adds logistical challenges and increases costs. These enterprises may be forced to rely on anecdotal evidence or basic metrics that do not fully capture the depth or sustainability of the impact they are creating. Expectations. Moreover, stakeholders, including funders, policymakers, and practitioners, often have different views on what constitutes success, which leads to inconsistent expectations. Some may focus on short term measurable results, while others value long term societal transformation. This divergence further complicates efforts to build a unified framework for impact evaluation. As a result, many social ventures struggle to justify their value in the language that funders or investors understand, creating a gap between social impact and financial decision making. Addressing this issue will require collaborative efforts to develop cost effective, standardized, and inclusive evaluation tools that can evolve alongside the social entrepreneurship ecosystem. Benefits. Learning how to measure social impact offers numerous benefits for social entrepreneurs, organizations, and stakeholders involved in creating positive change. Firstly, it provides clarity and focus by helping ventures define what success looks like and stay aligned with their mission. By setting measurable goals and tracking progress, organizations can ensure that their actions are truly contributing to the desired social or environmental outcomes. Secondly, effective impact measurement enables strategic decision making. It allows entrepreneurs to identify what is working and what isn't, enabling them to adjust their programs, allocate resources more efficiently, and innovate for greater effectiveness. This process fosters a culture of continuous learning and improvement. Thirdly, it builds credibility and transparency. Clear, evidence based reporting of impact enhances trust with donors, investors, beneficiaries, and partners. It shows that the organization is accountable and results driven, which can significantly improve fundraising and investment prospects. Additionally, impact measurement supports scaling and replication. By demonstrating which models create real change, it becomes easier to attract partners and supporters to help scale successful initiatives or replicate them in new contexts. It contributes to the broader field of social change by generating shared knowledge. When social enterprises measure and share their impact, they help build a stronger ecosystem where others can learn, adapt, and collectively advance solutions to presenting social problems. Steps to measure social impact. Define your social value proposition. This is the foundation of impact measurement strategy. It involves identifying the specific goal or environmental problem the organization seeks to address and what positive change it aims to create. This value proposition explains why your enterprise exists and the benefit it aims to deliver to society. This is your mission driven value proposition, which outlines the intended benefit to society or the environment. Example: a social enterprise may aim to improve access to clean drinking water in rural villages by installing solar powered purification units. Identify key outcomes and objectives. So, once a value proposition is identified or defined, determine the specific outcomes you want to achieve. There should be measurable and time bound where possible. Outcomes are the desired changes or benefits that result from your activities. Objectives should be smart, that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Reduce cases of waterborne diseases by 40% in the target area within 12 months of system installation. Example, another one is increase school attendance by 20% among girls aged 10 to 16 within 2 years. Choose indicators to measure impact. Select the quantitative and qualitative indicators that will best reflect your outcomes. Use tools like IRIS Plus, SROI, or theory of change to ensure consistency and clarity. Indicators are measurable signs that show progress toward your outcomes. They can be quantitative or qualitative. Choosing the right indicators ensures you are measuring what truly matters. Quantitative example: number of households using clean water, percentage increase in school attendance, number of girls receiving hygiene kits. Qualitative example: community feedback and health improvements. Testimonials from students or teachers observed behavior change. Collect baseline data. Before launching the program, gather baseline data to understand the current state This forms the starting point of comparison, so you can later determine whether your work caused by any real change. Example: measure current waterborne disease rates in the community, number of people using untreated water, or local health clinic visits. Example: recording current school attendance and dropout rates among target demographics. Quantify your social value. Translate your outcomes into measurable social value. This can include direct improvement, that is, number of people helped, and where possible, monetize social returns. Quantifying your social value means assigning numbers to your impact to show how much change you are making. In some cases, this may include monetizing the value to show how every dollar spent creates social benefit. Example: for every $1 invested, $4 worth of economic value is created through improved health and reduced medical expenses. Example: calculating the economic benefit of increased female education, such as future income gains or public health savings. Monitor and track over time. Continually track your impact using the chosen indicators. Use both short-term and long-term tracking tools and methods like surveys, interviews, usage tools, or digital tools. Regularly gather data throughout your program to track progress. Monitoring allows you to see trends, adapt quickly, and ensure you are staying aligned with your goals. Use tools like surveys, interviews, apps, or monitoring systems. Example: monthly updates from local health workers or community workers tracking use of water systems and illness reports. Example: monthly attendance records, quarterly health assessment, annual satisfaction surveys. Analyze and interpret results. Assess how well your initiative is meeting its intended outcomes. Consider external factors and whether the observed changes can be attributed to your efforts. After collecting data, it's important to analyze it to draw meaningful insights. So we have to ask: did your intervention lead to the desired change? Were there unexpected results? Could external factors have influenced the outcomes? So using control groups when possible, comparisons with baseline or statistical analysis to determine the true impact, or control variables to strengthen your analysis. Use whatever you have learned to reflect and adapt. Calibrate what's working and revisiting strategies that are falling short. Use your impact data to reflect, learn, and adapt. Identify what's working, what needs adjustment, and where is more support is required. This creates a feedback loop that strengthens the mission jewelry. Impact measurement isn't just for reporting, it's a powerful tool for growth, innovation, and deeper impact. Example: if usage of water system is low, feedback may reveal it's due to location or cultural beliefs, insights that can guide better future planning. Final thought: measuring social impact is not a one-time activity but an ongoing process. By clearly defining your social value proposition and continuously quantifying and analyzing your outcomes, you ensure that your efforts remain meaningful, measurable, and mission aligned. Each step in measuring social impact, from defining your purpose to learning from outcomes, builds a cycle of accountability, improvement, and growth. It's not just about proving success, but about ensuring your enterprise continues to make meaningful difference in the lives ones you aim to serve. Thank you.